Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is for Friday, February 26, 2021. I have a new deck I'm experimenting with. It's the Marchetti Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. And it's kind of cool. The cards are bigger, but check out the it's sparkly pink gilded edges. So let's see how I can read it. I haven't tried yet. This is my first. You be my guinea pigs. Okay, so Friday. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Let me get the cards pulled, and then I'll get them in frame. The Tower and Justice reversed. Okay. So with the Tower being the theme, that to me is actually, well, on a spiritual level. So I'll read it. I'll read it on the mundane and the spiritual level. So on the spiritual level, I love this card actually because it's about breaking through the false self and getting inside of who we truly are. Because when crisis comes in, and now I'm going to speak more to the mundane, but this is how it works, on the spiritual level as well, because nothing is ever separate. When crisis comes in, when we have a crisis, when there's a breakdown in our life, there's also a breakthrough. In fact, that's the true spiritual meaning of crisis is that something needed to break through. And there's beauty in that. There's so much beauty in that. This card is traditionally ruled by Mars, but you can see the lightning bolt here. So I feel, I always say it's also Uranus, because sometimes it can come in, it appears to come in really quickly, like a lightning bolt does. But the truth is it's been building up for quite some time. And So I don't take it as anything difficult. It's just change. It can sometimes be, of course it's difficult, but I don't take it as anything, like terrible. Like, don't judge it is basically what I'm trying to say. It can always bring in change. It can sometimes feel very conflicting. This is a card of even the most simple things like rearranging furniture around the house, taking everything out of your cupboards and clearing it out for some reason, switching things around, renovation, reconstruction, remodeling at home. But it disrupts your life, and you're having to go, oh, wait a minute, and gather back, from your core, the core of who you truly are, like gather yourself back. So it brings in enlightenment. It always brings in enlightenment, and I'm appreciating the imagery here where, we've got the top of this guy's head. Now, is he the ruler that needed to be, released? Like, again, hold on, in the traditional tarot, you guys know this one so well, but let me just remind you, in case anyone's new here, with the traditional Rider-Waite, we see the crown is fallen, and who's falling from the top? Is it the king and queen? Like, what is it? Because it makes you wonder, right? So same thing here. We've got that who we thought was our true authority, or who we thought was in charge, is not. So to me, this is like breaking through that part of ourselves on a spiritual level. I'm speaking now. Breaking through that part of ourselves that used to operate coming from who do we think we need to be in order to be loved or approved of, or both. Because if we're kids growing up that didn't get love, that didn't get the real needs of love and safety or comfort or connection, and if we didn't get to be seen and heard and understood, then as adults we're going to have to break through and reconstruct all of that. We're going to have to reparent ourselves. Now, if this is what's going on in any aspect of your life, I'm here to tell you to celebrate it, to milk it for all you can, get inside of what's really going on and let your true power come through. And then no one else is your outer authority anymore. Not at all. And it's a beautiful process, except for it's not going to feel like it's beautiful. It's going to be challenging. I'm cracking up because usually Ciro Marchetti puts his initials. This is a total distraction here, you guys, but I'm looking for his initials in this card, and I can't find them. So, oh, wait, here they are. Right there. See him. He does that. He has a way, right there, has a way of sneaking his initials in every card. It's like, where's Waldo? So anyway, okay, rational moment there. Let's get back to the spiritual thing here. And and I love this imagery of the depth in the eyes and the wisdom, because you can look at this card from two different angles. Like, is it the breaking through into your own authority and letting go of like what your dad or your grandfather or your parents, your uncle, whoever seemed to be an authority in your life, maybe even an older sibling, and you break through and now it's you. Like, maybe this is our wisdom coming through. And on another angle, just in the mundane, coming from that point of view, it can sometimes be a really drastic change. It can sometimes be a painful loss, but that's okay. I mean, that's truly okay. But man, we have 3 major arcanas here, and so I'm glad, actually, if this energy has to come in for some of us, I'm actually really glad that it's on a Friday and you have the weekend and the downtime to work with it. So my prayer, my best guidance I can give anyone is to go deep. When things happen that make you feel like falling apart, go deep and try to find the cause, and then also know that it's just like Mr. Rogers always said, that there are helpers everywhere. Look for the helpers, and the helpers are going to be in the form of your guides and guardian angels and your friends and loved ones, maybe all of us in our community here. If anybody's going through a hard time, feel free to drop a comment in and let us love you through it, and let us help you love yourself through it, if that's the case. And then for some of you, it's just, it can just be that, you really are remodeling around the house, or you're starting a new project that has got your traditional, that's not the right word, your routine, that has gotten your routine upended, and daily life is not functioning the way it was before. So, this could be maybe prayers that need to go out to people in Texas who are putting their lives back together after their pipes burst. And, because this card very, very much speaks to taking back our authority and reconstruction, regeneration, bringing in all the hard work that needs to come through in order to resolve something challenging, very challenging and shocking that happened in the past. And, the Texas winters, that storm that came through, that, oh my goodness, my heart goes out to them. There are so many aspects of a situation like that we can see in the Tower card. Now, coupled with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, to me, it's one of those challenging cards where sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. Now, here's his initials here. Yeah, he did it again. See? Tell you, every card. Sometimes you're on top of your game, you're in your power, right? And the world is spinning the way that you want. And then other times you're kind of sideways, you're in a different angle, we can't be at the top of life. Just doesn't work that way. I don't think it's normal to be completely on top. But this card certainly speaks to turning points and the way that life just moves constantly, and that we can create our good karma moving forward. But when it comes through reverse, this brings in that element of having maybe having some fear about moving forward, maybe being a little bit stuck. But then again, it could just be that there's just a delay. There's just a simple delay. Now, we can all relate to that based on, the winter storm that happened, where, deliveries are just now finally probably coming through for some of us, and it's been rare, to get even mail on time lately. That storm really knocked it out for a lot of people. And I think what best thing I could offer for that would just be to let's send lots of prayers of support and love and light and healing, and to cut everybody a lot of slack. Don't be so demanding. If things are late, don't get angry about it. Let's just be patient. And that's especially true with the Justice card when it comes in reversed. Let's look at the imagery here. Yeah, that's beautiful. I like the way there's a little, I guess a little shade under the eyes. The eyes are closed, so that brings in that element of, staying unbiased, staying really unbiased, to bring in the justice. Yeah. And then, and here's the CM up here, yeah. So, but he puts them in every single one. Okay. But justice reversed, that's about injustice. So this can be a breakthrough when things haven't gone right, because with the Justice card, it's all about life lessons. It's all about, when it's straight up. Let's turn it straight up, so I'm not saying words that are incorrect for the position. When it's straight up, this has to do with truth, of course, right? And then having that clear space where you're coming from a centered place. And it has to do with, like I said before, like life lessons and being, being just, being fair. It's also, both of these cards are karmic, right? But karma to me is just the law of cause and effect. I think that's true I think a lot of people believe that. And we're changing our karma every day with every thought and every deed and every word and every action and all of our attitudes. We can turn things around. So when justice comes through reversed, this can have to do with sometimes it's legal issues. And things need to be rectified. So, the state of Texas and Governor Abbott, they're having some trouble. And so that's a perfect example of these cards here, where the state of Texas is upside down, and there's been tremendous change and challenge and, disaster even. Something has been destroyed, and there's been a lot of pain and loss, and people have died even. So there's an injustice that needs to be rewrited. So on a mundane level, these cards really truly are speaking to not only Texas, but also the Capitol riots, the insurrection, anything that's happened that's been drastic lately. I mean, there's been so much, right? I mean, it's challenging. But so with this justice reversed, this is a place where, we have to be careful about deception and in corruption, because it's not, it's not fair. What's happening isn't fair. So we have to do our part to rewrite the situation so that justice can come in. Because when it's reversed, we're in that realm of, biases, prejudice, racism, corruption, like I said before. It's just everything that's not fair, inequality, right? I mean, so, and the legal complications that come through when you're fighting for justice. So I really think these cards, I'm going to grab the Animal Spirit deck as well and shuffle while I finish this up. I really think these cards are speaking to that I needed to give voice to Texas and the insurrection riots that are, those hearings are happening right now as I speak. Because I'm doing this reading on the 23rd. I usually try to be a few days ahead in case my internet goes out. And because people like to get the readings a day ahead, usually. Sometimes I get comments like, why are you doing it so darn early, So anyway, so I think we need to send prayers to Texas, and we need to put prayers out there affirming that love and truth and justice will always prevail, but we're going to have to fight for it. We're going to have to not ever sit back and just let this go by as if it's something that's okay with us. And this probably the whole rest of this week, there's going to be a lot out on the news about what actually happened during the Capitol riots. I mean, they're saying for sure it was probably a good amount of time in planning, and probably for sure not just something that haphazardly happened. That there was, besides the planning, there was also inside people supporting it. So all that's under scrutiny right now. So let's say prayers for those for that justice to come through. Okay, because truth and love are one and the same. So we want the truth to come out, so that the loving thing is to always have the truth come out. Okay. Ooh, taking the lead. This and that are true, yeah. And surrender. Oh yeah, this goes with what we had yesterday. We did have the Hanged Man with those with that different deck, the Poppy Palin deck that I used. Let's see. Make sure that, yeah, the light's good enough there. Okay. So with this being the theme, this and that are true, this is where we get into sometimes a little paradox, but it helps us to get into duality. And you know how that goes. It's like we can both be right, we can both be a little wrong. We're in that place of we can be right and wrong, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. When we're in duality, we have a forcing current about being right, always being on top, always winning. And we've got this like life or death kind of intention field underneath all that dualistic, forcing current that just wants things to be the way you want it to be. So when we're dealing with each other, I think we need to just always open to, yeah, we can all be, there's a piece of truth usually coming through from everyone, even those that are telling great lies. There's going to be some truth that comes through, and that's where it gets really tricky. Because, a half-truth is still a lie. So, but staying in our center and opening to the and, instead of this or, instead of this or that, be in the and, that helps us to stay out of duality. And just keep like swimming with life like the dolphin, keep moving and having fun and playing. And, we can lighten up and be more gentle with each other. And that is a form of leadership, because when we're taking the lead and we're in our leadership, we can expect, it happens to me all the time, people will challenge us. People will challenge our, the words we used, and goodness knows I've made so many mistakes, and I've had to do a little repair work here and there, and then you just try and move on and do your best. But when you step into your leadership in whatever way that is, like even if you're mom stepping into your leadership with your kids and letting them know, or let's say you get a new puppy and you're trying to train it, it's like first thing you gotta let them know is like, you're the boss. I mean, of course you never hit them and you never yell at them or do anything that's gonna scare them, but you have to let them know who's the alpha dog. Otherwise, they'll just eat you alive. By eating up your house and everything. So taking the lead in your life is, no matter what facet of leadership you're working in, is important. Because if you let life just push you around, or if you let other people push you around, or if you don't take the lead yourself, then you're not going to be stepping into your power. It's really important. It's like, imagine two people in a relationship, and one of them's lying and one of them's cheating, and the other one's just like waiting to catch them in the lie, so they can confront them, and then they'll break up with them. It's like, no, the second you've been violated, you try and do the repair work with the person, but if they continue to keep doing it, if you're not the one that's going to bust out of the relationship, then you're allowing them to abuse you, and you're also abusing their soul, because you're not teaching them, number one, who you are. You're not teaching them how to treat you, which is also how to treat everyone. So that's where, that perpetrator-victim, vicious circle can happen. And to break that, you have to, get out of it. I mean, to get out of it, you have to break it and say, you're not allowed to do that to me anymore. If it's physical abuse, you get a temporary restraining order, and you go to court. You do everything you can to not allow that to happen again. So that does come into case when you're trying to figure out, like, who's right and who's wrong, and what do you do, right? So if we always surrender to what's true for us now, and if we always surrender to the universal, spiritual, natural, cosmic laws of love, you'll find which way to go. And that would be your leadership. Being able to surrender into the truth is a form of leadership. And we can all do that, 16 times a day or more. So, okay, well, that's all I have for this Friday. And I hope you guys are stepping into a nice new weekend and taking good care of yourself. And I'll be back soon for Saturdays. Okay, bye.